Hi, my name is Anouk and I'm a Customer Success Engineer at Deeploy. In this tutorial, I will show you how you can make predictions and explanations with your newly deployed model in Deeploy by using our Deeploy Python client. So let's get started. So we log into Deeploy, which brings us to the organization overview, and from there we want to go to a specific workspace in which we've already deployed our model and explainer. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to interact with this deployment from my Python code. And to do so, I can go into the deployment to manage and then code snippets. And here I can find different code snippets in different languages to help you set up an interaction with the different endpoints that we provide. In this case, I want to make a prediction with the model, so I use the predict code snippet. I want to have Python, so I copy this and then I go to my notebook. I create a new file called predict and explain. Alright, and I paste the code. So this code snippet shows us that we have to import a library called requests. We have to specify a deployment token, and the deployment URL is already linking us to the predict endpoint. We can also see a model input that we have to alter to our specific use case. We have a header section that is specifying which type of authorization we're using, in this case a bearer token, and we set up the code to make a request to the model and get the model output back. So to run this, I first need to create a deployment token. So I go back to Deeploy, to my deployment, and under manage I can find the authentication tab, and here I can create a deploy deployment token. Alternatively, you can use OpenID Connect to set up your authentication to the models in an OIDC provider. But for now, we will just create a deploy deployment token. So I will create this token, click save, copy the token. I go back to my notebook, paste it here. So now I want to get rid of the input that is provided here and replace it by the example input that is in my metadata. So I will copy this, paste it here, and the only thing left to do is that I want to also display the model output. So I will add one line and run it. We can see that we have an output now, so the prediction is false. And we can also see which features were used in creating this prediction. And if we go back to Deeploy, we can actually see that the prediction has been made with the model. So as you can see, I have here the predictions overview, and I can also dive deeper into one of those. And this is the actual prediction that I just generated. Also, we can go into monitoring and see that we have activity. So this last activity contains the prediction that I just made. Next up is to create an explanation as well. So we go back to the code snippets, change this to explain and Python, and we can see now that the explain endpoint is actually used. So I click copy, paste it in a new cell, copy the same token as we used for the predictions to interact with the deployment. We paste it here, and now we can see that we actually use the explain endpoint. So we also need to change the explainer input to the same input that we used for only the predictions. And then the only thing I want to add is that I want to display the explainer output. And then run it. So what we can see is that we have the same prediction as before, obviously because it's the same input. And we can now see that we also have an explanation that contains shape values for all of the features. And if we go back to deploy, go to the predictions again, and now we can see that we actually have a prediction that contains an explanation. So we can click it and we can see the same output here, the prediction including the explanation. And we can even visualize the explanation by using this button. So here we can see in a visual way which features contributed to the model output of false. And also in the monitoring, we can see that we have new activity here. Alright, so in this tutorial I showed you how to use the Python client to create predictions and explanations with your deployed model and explainer in Deeploy. In case you want to integrate this in a production setting, it is of course will be in an automated way, for example in a Python pipeline, and for that you can use the same logic. So thank you for watching and see you next time.